Jetpack Compose has completely transformed the way Android developers build user interfaces. Moving away from the traditional XML approach to a declarative UI paradigm is not just refreshing, it's a game changer. But as your app grows, the difference between basic Compose code and senior-level, production-ready code becomes crystal clear. In this video, we'll explore 13 essential tricks that senior Android developers use every day to keep their Compose codebases clean, efficient, and scalable. Whether you're struggling with dropped frames, unnecessary recompositions, or tangled state management, these tips will help you level up your Compose skills. Jetpack Compose isn't just a new toolkit, it's a new way of thinking about UI development. By embracing a declarative approach, developers can write more predictable and maintainable code. However, as projects scale, performance pitfalls and architectural challenges can arise. Senior developers know how to navigate these challenges, making Compose not only powerful but also robust for large-scale apps. In the following scenes, we'll break down the practical techniques that separate senior Compose developers from the rest. One of the most common causes of UI jank in Compose is reading frequently changing state, like scroll position, directly during the composition phase. If you pass a constantly changing value as a parameter, you'll trigger recomposition on every frame, which can tank performance. Instead, senior developers pass a lambda to defer the read to the layout or draw phase. This simple change can dramatically reduce unnecessary recompositions and keep your UI smooth, even with complex interaction. Let's look at a practical example. The bad approach passes a scroll offset directly, causing the header to recompose on every scroll tick. The better approach is to pass a lambda function, so the scroll offset is only read during the layout phase. This subtle difference can have a huge impact on performance, especially in scroll-heavy UIs. Senior developers always look for these opportunities to optimize. Recomposition is the process where Compose re-executes composable functions to update the UI. While it's a core part of Compose, unnecessary recompositions can degrade performance. Senior developers understand when and why recompositions happen, and they structure their code to minimize them. By deferring state reads and using best practices, you can keep your UI responsive and efficient. Effective state management is crucial in Compose. Senior developers avoid spaghetti state by keeping state localized and predictable. They use state hoisting, remember, and derivedStateOf to manage UI state efficiently. This ensures that only the necessary parts of the UI update when state changes, keeping the app fast and maintainable. State hoisting is a pattern where state is moved up to a parent composable, making it easier to share and control. This approach prevents deeply nested composables from managing their own state, which can lead to bugs and hard-to-maintain code. Senior developers use state hoisting to keep their code clean and predictable. The remember function is a powerful tool in Compose. It allows you to cache values across recompositions, preventing unnecessary recalculations. Senior developers use remember strategically to optimize expensive operations and keep their UI snappy. But remember to use it wisely. Overusing remember can lead to stale data if not managed correctly. derivedStateOf is another advanced tool for optimizing Compose apps. It lets you create derived values that only update when their dependencies change. This reduces unnecessary recompositions and keeps your UI efficient. Senior developers use derivedStateOf for computed values that depend on other state, ensuring performance remains top-notch. A key trick is to minimize the scope of recomposition. By breaking your UI into smaller, focused composables, you ensure that only the parts that need to update actually do. Senior developers structure their code to isolate state and UI, reducing the performance impact of recompositions. When working with lazy column or lazy row, always provide a unique key for each item. This helps Compose track items efficiently and prevents unnecessary recompositions when the list changes. Senior developers know that using keys is essential for smooth scrolling and dynamic lists. Compose relies on stable data structures to optimize recompositions. Senior developers use immutable data classes and avoid changing references unnecessarily. This practice ensures that Compose can efficiently determine what needs to update, keeping your UI fast and reliable. Inline lambdas in composable parameters can cause unnecessary recompositions. Senior developers extract lambdas to variables or use remember to avoid this pitfall. This small change can have a big impact on performance, especially in complex UIs. Modifiers are a core part of Compose, and their order matters. Senior developers pay attention to the order of modifiers to ensure correct behavior and performance. For example, placing clickable before padding can change the touch area. Always structure modifiers thoughtfully for predictable results. Sometimes you need more control than what standard layouts provide. Senior developers aren't afraid to create custom layouts using layout or modifier layout. This allows for highly optimized and unique UI designs, tailored to the app's needs. Senior developers build reusable composables to avoid code duplication and improve maintainability. By creating small, focused components, you can assemble complex UIs more efficiently and keep your codebase clean. Compose previews are a fantastic tool for rapid UI development. Senior developers use previews to iterate quickly, test different states, and catch issues early. This workflow speeds up development and reduces bugs before they reach production. A consistent theme is essential for a polished app. Senior developers leverage Compose's theming system to ensure colors, typography, and shapes are consistent throughout the app. This not only improves the user experience, but also makes the code easier to maintain. Compose makes animations easy, but senior developers use them judiciously. They prefer simple, meaningful animations that enhance the user experience without hurting performance. Using Remember Infinite Transition and Animate Asterisk as state, they create smooth, efficient animations. Testing is a cornerstone of robust Compose apps. Senior developers write unit and UI tests for their composables, ensuring that changes don't introduce regressions. Using tools like Compose Test and Semantics, they verify that the UI behaves as expected. Accessibility is not an afterthought for senior developers. They use Compose's accessibility APIs to make sure their apps are usable by everyone. This includes adding content descriptions, using semantics, and testing with accessibility tools. Senior developers keep UI logic and business logic separate. They use view models and state holders to manage data, keeping composables focused on rendering. This separation makes code easier to test and maintain. Compose encourages unidirectional data flow, where data moves in one direction and events flow back up. Senior developers embrace this pattern to keep state changes predictable and debuggable. This approach reduces bugs and makes the app easier to reason about. Managing state at the right scope is critical. Senior developers avoid global state and keep state as close as possible to where it's used. This minimizes side effects and makes the code easier to understand. Composition Local is a powerful tool for passing data down the composable tree. Senior developers use it sparingly for things like themes or configuration, but avoid overusing it for general state. This keeps the codebase maintainable and predictable. Snapshot Flow is a handy tool for observing Compose state changes and triggering side effects. Senior developers use it to bridge Compose state with coroutines, enabling powerful reactive patterns without risking recomposition issues. For custom drawing, senior developers use Canvas and modifier drawbehind efficiently. They avoid unnecessary redraws by scoping drawing logic and using Remember for expensive calculations. This keeps custom graphics smooth and performant. Loading images efficiently is crucial for a smooth UI. Senior developers use libraries like Coil or Glide with Compose and leverage Remember Image Painter to cache images and reduce flicker. This ensures images load quickly and look great. Compose handles configuration changes gracefully, but senior developers ensure their state survives rotations and other changes. They use ViewModel and Remember Savable to persist important data, providing a seamless user experience. Navigation is a core part of any app. Senior developers use the official Navigation Compose library to manage navigation declaratively. This approach keeps navigation logic clean and integrates seamlessly with the rest of the Compose codebase. Senior developers use dependency injection frameworks like Hilt or Coin with Compose. This keeps code modular, testable, and easy to maintain. Injecting dependencies into composables ensures that each part of the app can be developed and tested in isolation. Profiling is essential for finding and fixing performance bottlenecks. Senior developers use Android Studio's profiling tools to monitor recompositions, frame rates, and memory usage. This data-driven approach ensures that their Compose apps stay fast and responsive. Efficient memory management is key to a smooth app. Senior developers avoid memory leaks by cleaning up resources and using Remember appropriately. They also monitor allocations to prevent excessive memory usage, especially in image-heavy or animation-rich screens. Senior developers define clear contracts for their composables. This means specifying what data is required, what events are emitted, and how state is managed. Clear contracts make composables easier to use, test, and maintain. Documentation is often overlooked, but senior developers know its value. They document composables, parameters, and expected behaviors. Good documentation helps teams collaborate and reduces onboarding time for new developers. Jetpack Compose is evolving rapidly. Senior developers stay updated with the latest releases, best practices, and community tips. This ensures they're using the most efficient and reliable tools available, and their apps benefit from the latest improvements. The Compose community is vibrant and full of resources. Senior developers participate in forums, read blogs, and contribute to open source. This not only helps them stay sharp, but also gives back to the community, fostering growth and innovation. Senior developers mentor others and share their knowledge. Whether through code reviews, talks, or articles, they help elevate the entire team's Compose skills. Sharing best practices ensures that everyone benefits from collective experience. The best developers never stop learning. Senior Compose developers regularly explore new patterns, libraries, and tools. They experiment with new features and adapt their workflows to stay ahead in the fast-moving Android ecosystem. Mastering Compose is a valuable skill for career growth. Senior developers use their Compose expertise to build better apps, lead teams, and advance their careers. Staying at the forefront of Compose development opens up new opportunities in the Android world. Let's recap the 13 tricks senior Android developers use every day. Defer state reads, minimize recompositions, use keys in lists, prefer immutable data, avoid inline lambdas, structure modifiers carefully, create custom layouts, build reusable composables, leverage previews, maintain consistent theming, use animations wisely, test thoroughly, and prioritize accessibility. Mastering these techniques will set you apart as a Compose expert. Now that you know the secrets of senior Compose developers, it's time to put them into practice. Start by refactoring your codebase, applying these tricks one by one. With each improvement, you'll notice your app becoming more robust, maintainable, and performant. To continue your Compose journey, explore official documentation, community blogs, and open-source projects. Senior developers are always learning, and the Compose ecosystem is full of resources to help you grow. Stay curious and keep building. Being part of the Compose community means sharing knowledge, asking questions, and helping others. Senior developers know that collaboration accelerates learning and innovation. Don't hesitate to join forums, attend meetups, and contribute to discussions. Jetpack Compose is the future of Android UI development. By mastering these senior-level tricks, you'll be able to build apps that are not only functional but also elegant and high-performing. Keep experimenting, keep learning, and compose your own success story in the Android world.